The story opens when Alto Goldfield is warned by his teacher to make a contract with a familiar to advance to his second year. He is a first-year student at the Ortigia Academy of Magic. Although he always gets the perfect score in other fields, he struggles in the summoning exam. His teacher also tells him that some students have passed by forming contracts with rhinoceros beetles. Feeling disheartened, he confides everything to his friend Lilia Cuddlefight, who becomes angry upon hearing this. He decided not to give up because of his year-long hard work in this academy. In the library, he decides to try something different in summoning. Suddenly, an old, peculiar summoning book drops on his head. Excitedly, he reads the book and decides to create a magical circle. After dropping his blood on the magical circle, black smoke spreads everywhere, and he succeeds in summoning a naked girl. He is shocked to see her naked. He asks who she is. She approaches him and asks what he wants. Feeling shy, he tells her he wants her to become his familiar. Suddenly, a bright light appears, and she makes a contract with him. She kisses him and drains his mana. Afterward, she introduces herself as Vermal, a demon, and declares that he is her master, promising to fulfill his wishes. He asks her to wear clothes he bought for her sister, and she wears a hot black dress. He finds himself in a bizarre situation but agrees with her explanation that most familiars would not approach him due to his extremely potent mana, which is as lethal as poison to most beings. Remembering his teacher's words about demons being powerful entities, he acknowledges the potential danger. Vermal explains that she can break the contract and kill him but refrains from doing so because he escapes her from the book in which she was trapped for a long time. Curious, he asks why she was trapped, and she reveals that she did many naughty things. When he presents Vermal to his teacher as his familiar, the teacher initially refuses to accept her, causing Vermal to become angry and display their contract. Eventually, the teacher agrees, and Alto happily prepares for his second year. However, Vermal's closeness to Alto in class attracts attention from others. The master stops them but she reminds him that the school advocates living alongside familiars. Lilia sees all this and becomes angry. Later, she confronts Alto, demanding an explanation. After Alto introduces Vermal, Lilia becomes furious, challenging Vermal to a duel which is used to resolve the conflict between students. Vermal accepts, stating that if they win, Lilia will have to do whatever Alto wants. Though feeling shy and awkward, Lilia agrees. Lilia summons Sylphide, a high-class wind spirit, and orders her to punish them. However, she loses control and attacks Alto. Vermal saves him. Vermal attacks on Lilia and makes her lose. Accepting defeat, she asks Alto what to do next. Alto suggests making Vermal her friend, to which they both agree. At home, Vermal approaches Alto to absorb a bit of his mana as a treat, explaining that being sealed for centuries has weakened her. Alto reflects on how he initially thought making a contract with a demon would be scary but now considers it somewhat normal. Vermal disagrees, emphasizing that humans cannot handle their power and often burst from inside or die when their mana is completely drained, especially if they sell their soul to a demon. When he moved with Vermal, every eye was on them. He asked her to do something to stand up for herself. Suddenly a high-class familiar dragon lost out of mind and moved toward them. But Vermal makes this dragon disappear in the sky by using her magic. In the hall, the teachers congratulated this student on advancing to a higher class, the start of a new term and a fairy flower. He saw everyone talking about Vermal and everyone's eyes were on them. After that, the teacher explains to them about the familiar as they are simple creatures and if they treat them with love and care, they will be their inseparable companion. The teacher waters a plant which grows to a bigger one. The teachers also mention that if their love is not sincere, their familiar may hurt them and tear apart. Vermal is again coming close to her in the class. Alto, Vermal and Lilia are about to go home when a boy named Rex, a dragon rider, asks Vermal to have a number on his boy earlier. They become shocked and pretend like they do not know who is him. He becomes aggressive and asks about her trick to take out his dragon. She behaves like she is afraid, but on the other hand Alto makes a magic circle for crystal synthesis, which is advanced magic. Rex breaks it and summons a Tyrannosaurus familiar dinosaur. He asks her to apologize to him in some other way as she is hot and is of his type, otherwise they will die in each other's arms. Dinosaurs come to attack them. Vermal hugs him and gives him his mana back, which is golden mana. He is able to synthesize a large crystal and fall towards them. Rex loses and apologizes to them. After that, Alto told Vermal he wanted to be a great and incredible mage in his life, as their nation mages categorized into gold square, silver squares, bronze square, and apprentice mages, and he wanted to become a platinum square. She hugged her and mentioned that his dream will come true. She removes her clothes to fulfill her mana. He gets nervous. In school, his two classmates Cheryl and Marks come to meet him and also congratulate him on winning a duel against an up-performer. After that, Alto, Layla and Cheryl meet the handmaster who devised a special trial to select one of them as a representative student of the second-year class. They all have to get a fairy flower by the 6 p.m. bell, as fairy flowers is rare and often used to craft potions. Young master also joins them to find fairy flowers because he also wants to become the representative student of second year. He also summoned his familiar Francoise, who loved tree sap and honey. Alto and Lilia saw Cerberus near a fairy flower and thought, how did they get it? Lilia uses an invisibility potion made by her. She drinks it and becomes invisible, but her clothes are shown. She decided to remove them but felt shy and awkward. But she was able to remove all the clothes and move toward the Cerberus, but again felt embarrassed. Alto asked Vermal to amplify his mana back, but she asked for ample mana from him. She comes close to him, opens his shirt and also removes her clothes. On the other hand, Lilia is also smelled by Cerberus and about to be screwed, but Alto saves her. Alto fights with them and Lilia moves to get a fairy flower. Vermal also uses her power. Lilia gets a fairy flower and gives it to Alto. At the same time, her potion is gone, and she appears naked. She feels shy about this. The flower moves away by the wind and Cheryl gets it. Cheryl became the representative student of second year. They're both happy about it. Vermal loves the crepe, which she tried for the first time. Suddenly, they all see the numbers of dragon riders in the sky. She also gives him her food, which he tastes and likes. All the students talk about Chris, who is the captain of the Dragon Riders. She is pretty incredible and one of only 7 gold squares at the academy. She is an executive officer on the student council. Student council members are the top students at the academy. Out of 7, 5 are executive officers on the student council. These are chosen from different communities and clubs. Alto also mentions that all the student council presidents are close to earning platinum. At the same time, Vermal puts her breast on him, and Lilia stops her by saying they are in public. Lilia and Marx change their uniforms and talk about Vermal, thinking she is absolutely hiding something about herself from them. Lilia decides to expose her and also refuses that she does not like Alto. They have only known each other for so long, and she is only worried about him. They suddenly hear some noise as Vermal enters the boys' changing room. Lilia tells Vermal to be ashamed of this act. The student council members are on their way, and everyone gives them space to pass. Alto is also impressed by them. When he bathes, he thinks about the student council as they look so cool. Vermal also tells him they are all on another level. He is shocked to see her naked in the bath with him. She comes close to him and tells him she is his familiar and gives him strength, so he can use her however he likes, and promises to make his dream come true one day. One of the student council members, Chris, beats Brex for losing a duel to an underclassman. It is also mentioned that his dragon is just a big lizard. He tries to clarify things, but she beats him, and in his aggressiveness, he quits. She thinks Alto is an interested little boy. Alto, Vermal, and Lilia go to the hospital to check on Rex. Rex asks Alto how he was feeling for a dinosaur. He replied that dinosaurs are big, kind of scary, but cool. Lilia advises him not to fight with anyone, but he moves silently. He passes by the stairs with Vermal and meets with Chris, who tells him to back up because he is really challenging her to a duel. But he stands with full confidence and courage. She gets angry and summons her familiar whirlwind. Vermal touches his hand, kisses him, and gives him golden mana for the fight. They both attack each other. Vermal saves him. She attacks them one by one as punishment, and Vermal takes damage. She again attacks them and thinks they are not typical mages. He synthesizes many crystals and drops them on her. The blast happens, but fortunately, she is saved and moves on her dragon in the sky. She attacks them, and they are unable to answer. She tells them this is their last chance for apology. She tells them everyone is afraid of dragons not because of their stone-crushing teeth, iron-slicing claws, or earth-scorching breath, but because they have the ability to fly all over the sky. The sky is her. Other student council members saw all this. She continuously attacks them, showing her beliefs, as she hates familiars because familiars are the measures of a mage's power. He disagrees with her and tells her a familiar is a good companion. She tells them there is a chance to beat and defeat her if it is possible. Vermal accepts it and tells her she will crush her beliefs to dust. Please subscribe to our channel for the next part.